blaming that came. That is the most important. Blaming. You see that? What? Blaming. The later, earlier, what is a verse? Chapter 3, verse 12. What happened? God came and God asked to Adam. Chapter 3, verse 12. That man said, "The woman you put here with me." What did he say later? "Whoa, man." What he said now? "Whoa, man." The who that came because of what? She and she. Not only she. Who brought her? You brought her. And she is responsible. Ultimately, I was very happy watching TV and sleeping, working in the gardens. Then you brought this before me. And I got married. And who is responsible now? Blaming starts to each other. We all are doing it every day now. So we don't have to explain any of those things at all. Right? They were cursed. They were cast out. And ultimately, the most important result of all was death reigned into their lives. Death came into the world in such a way. So the chapter 3. We will stay slow here because that's crucial things to understand. Then what God did? God came down. Adam, where are you? The biblical understanding of our faith is that we are not seeking God. God is seeking us. That is the reverse of it. All religion in the world is trying to seek God. But God sought after us. And God came and asked Adam, where are you? Chapter 3, verse 15. Not only God covered them, God gave them a promise also. This is called the proto-evangelium, or the first gospel in the scripture. We can underline that scripture, Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. So God clothed them, God came after them, and God gave them a promise. This promise is the foundation of the entire biblical history. This goes from here to all the way to the end. That's where it is going to go. So that is what we see in chapter 1 and 2. So two major incidents that we have covered, the creation and the fall. The result of the fall continues over here. The result of the fall. Chapter 4. The eternal conflicts. We see that, you know the story. Now I just pick here and there and go. Chapter 4. What we see, two people there. Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. We always ask why that happened. The only clue we understand why that happened is 1 John chapter 3 verse 12. When the apostle John says that he belonged to the evil. He belonged to the evil. Remember that when you look at here, the way that the scripture is written about that, chapter 4, verse 4. Genesis 4:4. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering. Then next verse. But on Cain and his offering, he did not look with the favor. So what do we get out of it? It is not the offering is pleasing or not. The offering is pleasing not based upon what you want. Offering is based upon who bringing it. God has to please in the offerer first before the offering. We can do anything and just come and sing, then God will be pleased. No, you may be a beautiful singer, a teacher, or whatever it is. That's it. If God is not pleased with us, there is no pleasing in the offering. That is a lesson that we can see in chapter 4. The brother killed the brother. That's we move from there. And they didn't have the time to stay there, so they killed the brother. And they went. Then come to chapter 5. The story continues there. But chapter 4, we want to see one more person. Chapter 4, verse 25. Adam lay with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, and named him Shem. Underline Shem. So now Adam, then Cain and Abel. Then everybody asks the other question, who is Cain's wife? You see, other person here, Cain and Shem. So Cain killed Abel. So Abel is no more. Only Cain became a murderer. So, but the story should continue. So that name is given over there about Shem. Chapter 5, we see it is called the coffin of the Bible. Every person, those who lived so many years, but what happened to them? They all died. We see Adam lived 800 years. Chapter 5, verse 4. Had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. Verse 8. Altogether, Shem lived 912 years, and then he died. Verse 11. Altogether Enos lived 5 years, and then he died. Canaan lived 910 years, then he died. And verse 17, Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. But everybody died. There is one person, chapter 21, verse 21. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with the God. Then he was no more because God took him. In the midst of the death culture, there is a man walking with the God. So you can live among all these, depravities. Still you can walk with the God. What is the end result of it? One day after walking with the God so long, God said, let us go home together. It's too far for you to go back to your home. Let us go to my home. God took him with him. So chapter 5 ended with that, but there are a couple of people we want to see there. Then Lamech. Then we see verse 28. Then we see Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether Lamech lived 777 years. That's a good number to live. 777 years. And then he died. Verse 32. After Noah, 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So the story continues. Adam, then Shem, then Enoch, Lamech, Noah. Okay, so we get that many people now. Let the story continue. Then we come to the third major event in the chapter, in the first primeval history, the flood. You know the story? What happened? The people became sinful, corrupt, and because of that, God said that my spirit will not contend with the man forever, for he is mortal. God's mercy and grace has a limit also for some time, remember. So it will not go for ever. Don't take advantage of God's mercy and grace. There is a day of judgment is coming. That is a lesson that we have to learn also. Because we give so much emphasis to the love and grace and mercy of God, we totally forget about the judgment of God. We have to see that in balance. Both are we see in the scripture. Chapter 6 through 9, that we see that Noah was a faithful man. And he made, God asked him to make an ark. He made the ark, and all the animals came into that. And we know the story. And 40 days there was flood, and all the people, those who are in the world, those who didn't believe in the preaching of the judgment, those who didn't believe that, they all were killed. Chapter 9. All right, that is what we see. We know the story, the ark of covenant. The ark over there, and God made a covenant with Noah finally in chapter 9, verse 1 through 17. So the ark represents Christ, and we all saved like that. There was only one door for the ark, all these people to come. And they believed the message of Noah. Nobody believed. Who believed? Noah and his family believed. They were saved because of that. All other people, Jesus says that later. The end days will be like that. There will be eating, drinking, and getting married and given to marriage. Life is normal. Nobody believed that message. What was the end result? The judgment God has into this world. Now we are left with only 8 people. Who are they? We underlined a couple of people there here. We didn't see them. Noah's 3 sons. Noah's 3 sons. Where are they? We come to chapter 10 and we see them. Noah's sons. Japheth, Ham, and Shem. So Adam, Shem, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Japheth, Shem, Ham, and Shem. So the story continues. The story of redemption continues here. So chapter 10 comes, the last event in the primeval history. All the nations, those who came from these 3 sons of Noah. That's what happened. Because all other people were killed in the flood. 70 nations' name is given there. In your notebook, you can open to that, the table of nations. You can go one by one and you can see that all these nations, where they came from. 70 nations. 14 from Japheth, 30 from Hamite, and from Shem, there are 26 nations. 70 nations, those who came from each of these people. So that is where the rest of the nation evolved later. So we go back, Adam, then Shem, then Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, then Noah's 3 sons, all the people, those who came from Noah's 3 sons. Are you getting it? the table of nations. Adam, Seth, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Japheth, Ham, Shem. There are 17 nations listed in all. 14 from Japheth, 18 from Ham, 26 from Shem. And that is what we see in chapter 10. So all these people, those who came. Get it? Can I move forward? Okay. Chapter 11. That is the list is in the scripture, in your note. That's why I'm not explaining. You can read that. Chapter 11. Another famous story that we see that now the whole world had gone one language and a common speech. As men moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone, and they made a city for themselves. And what they did, they want to put a name. They want to make a name for ourselves and not be scattered on the face of the whole earth. If God is going to punish us again, we don't want to die. We are going to build this up and up and up. We want to defeat God. That was a thing. People believe that astrology started from there, from Babel. What does astrology means? People believe that it is a star's movement that controls their life and their mood signals. So they go and find out that there is a star stand here. You are in a dangerous place, and if the star moves, you are danger. That's what we believe. Remember that, people also came from different backgrounds, that's where they go. But we want to stress that we believe the God who created the stars, sun and moon. And we are engaged in his palm. Nothing is going to happen. We are the apple of his eye. That's why we have to understand our life. Chapter 11, Babel. Babel is not only a city. Babel is a concept. The people, those who want to make a name for themselves, people, those who want to rebel against God, that is that concept. From here to book of Revelation that we see that concept. Babel, Babel, Babel. Those who oppose God and his